dreams, but it ignited them.
Do you think he knew that by saying that it would ignite them?
I don't know. I think he has a commitment to telling the truth.
Uh-huh.
And I think he was telling the truth.
And now you look back on that song, what do you think?
Well, that brings me back to Jay-Z's office a year later. I sit down with Jay-Z and I'm nervous and I'm playing some music. So just like I got my backpack now with my laptop in it, you know, I take out my laptop and I'm where can I plug it in? You know, there was no AirPlay yet. So I'm looking for his aux cord and it's like, you know, finally we get it plugged in and I play him Cooler Than Me and he starts nodding his head like this, you know, and I can tell he really likes it. And we just have a great meeting. It was like 2 hours. I was in there talking for a long time. And then.
What's the general conversation about? Like, what are you guys chatting about in there for 2 hours?
Vision, like
what you want to
my
do.
Vision and the vision he saw for me. He was so insightful, such a student of music. He knew who my inspirations were by listening to my music.
Wow.
He said, you know, I can hear this and this and I think you can make an album like this, but you got to work hard for it and stumble upon it. And the album he said was like my favorite album at the time. It was The Love Below by Andre 3000. And so he's just insightful and you know, he's the man. And he looked at John Manili, his right-hand man. He goes, so what do we do? And John says, I think we do a deal. And I'm like trying to contain my excitement, you know. So we shake hands.
How old are you at this time, quickly?
20, 21.
Okay, so you're young.
Yeah, compared to how old I am now.
No, but
at the time, I was the oldest I had ever been.
No, but still, the reason I ask is like 21, it's hard to contain your emotions that age, especially when you're with those kind of people.
Yeah. I never had a problem containing my emotions. I had a problem expressing them. So, I go back to, before I go back, I'm walking out of the room, shake his hand. I go, something inspires me. And I say, yo, can I play you one more song? He goes, yeah. So I plug my laptop back in. I played him Who Knows, same song. And song finishes and he looks at me and he says, you know, that's incredible. He goes, I can't believe you almost left without playing it. He goes, never forget to play that song.
Whoa.
I went on a plane back to Duke. I go back to the library, write in my paper, check my email. I got a record deal offer from Rock Nation.
Wow.
So it's so interesting that two people who are so successful had completely different perspectives.
Yeah. And also not, right? It's like they're so unique, you know, and artists are all unique.
It's subjective.
Yeah, that's what makes an artist an artist. They have I say, you know, an artist by definition doesn't belong. I don't sing because I have an answer. I sing because I have a song.
Right.
So an artist, yeah, they're an artist because they see things differently. They see things differently than everyone else. And their job is to see beauty and divinity in the mundane and to help others see that through their art.
What song is your favorite out of those two now looking back?
Right now, maybe Who Knows, because Cooler Than Me, I still sing a lot. Who Knows, I don't. You know, it's like not on the set list.
Is it hard?
I've listened to it less times.
Doing what you're doing at 21 and having the success. You said white girls at Duke are singing to your music. Is it hard to have all the temptation of drugs, alcohol, women, or were you just always really focused?
I was really I was tempted by all those things. And really what I was insecure. I truly thought, I never felt like I belonged. And I truly thought that if I became popular and I got this record deal, I wasn't silly enough to think that just the adoration of others would fill me up or make me feel whole. But I was silly enough to think that that external success would change how I felt about myself. I thought I would feel more secure. I thought my chest would be out if I accomplished these things. And of course, it just, nothing changed. You know, my moment to moment experience of life was largely the same. You know, these things were really exciting and fun, and my career and the success I had were all blessings. So it's not like I was sad because of them. I was sad already, and I thought, you know, if I went down that path, it would solve these things. And it didn't.
We hear this so much on the podcast.
Yeah.
It's like Tony Robbins talks about the art of fulfillment versus the science of achievement.
Correct.
And it's like you work, so many of us are so driven to think the money and the accolades and all the achievements are going to make us happy. And then when you get to that line and you don't feel happy, you have to look at yourself, and I think you have to focus on the art of fulfillment.
Absolutely.
And it sounds like your journey has been a lot of that.
Yeah. Well, it was a blessing. So you know, Tony's got another line I love. He says, achievement without fulfillment is the biggest failure.
Yeah.
You know, it's the biggest failure you can have. And I just love that, you know, I love that line, that distinction. And for me, it was just such a blessing because I got this lesson in what doesn't work for me and what was ultimately a dead end, but it led me to ask, okay, if not this, then what? And the next chapter of my life became about finding things or places inside myself that did change my moment to moment experience of life. And, you know, if chapter 1 was doing what didn't work, chapter 2 is being a student, figuring out, okay, what does. And chapter 3, which I'm entering into now, is sharing what I learned in chapter 2. So that's why I'm here.
When
Thank
you're
you.
at the peak of your success and you've achieved all these different things and you're signed by Jay-Z and you're surrounded by all these incredible, I'm sure there's girls, there's anything you want. Was there an epiphany that caused you to start looking for that fulfillment? Like, do you remember something that happened, or was it just a slow process?
It's a slow process, but it's a process of pain. You know, at first you're like, oh man, I'm getting this success, and then I feel the same, so maybe I just need more of it. So you start chasing more of it, and then like get that, and still you feel the same. What up, though? And then really, really life took it away from me. I stopped being successful. My career really hit a like very, very cold patch. And I went from, you know, taking my shirt off at the shows and crowd surfing to just having an empty calendar. And I had to figure out who I was when I wasn't famous young Mike Posner. So it was a lot of that probably started the journey. And also we talk about Sean. He floated back into my life, and I ran into him in the studio. And I remember Michael, he was like glowing.